Well, welcome everybody. Happy Friday. I hope everybody's doing fantastically well. You've had a great week. Looking forward to the weekend. It's episode 49 today of Playing with Perspective, the Suspended Animation Podcast. I'm Darren Saul, your host, and I'm here with a fantastic lady that's joining us all the way from California, Chella Diaz. How you doing, Chella?
I am marvelous, and I'm delighted to be here.
I am so happy to have you. And we're going to be chatting about how you build a healthy relationship with money. Now, Chella is the money relationship coach, and she knew at a very young age how to manage money. She purchased her first car at 17, her first home at 23. She's the money relationship coach and helps entrepreneurs set and achieve their financial goals by identifying and releasing their money baggage. Chella was married for 17 years, now has 2 sons, and for over 15 years, Chella has been on her spiritual journey, but I'm sure she's coupled that with her financial journey as well. So Chella, welcome.
It is a pleasure to be here. I cannot wait.
Thank you very much. So tell us a bit about you, apart from the obvious that I've stated. We'd love to hear more about who Chella is.
Just money. For me, money has made sense. No, really, it has made sense since I was 9 years old. It was just one of those things. It just made sense to me. Yep. And it was not until I got married that I found out that other people view money differently.
Right. Yep.
Right. And it's about the money baggage and the money stories that we carry. Yep. And, there's a majority of people that get divorced because of money. Well, that's just one of the 3, but we're only going to talk about the money one, right? Yeah. Because they don't agree. And there's always a lot of arguing and discussions and fights over money.
Yep, definitely. As they say, I don't know if it's true or not, money is the root of all evil. That's probably overstating things a little bit. But we're going to educate people so it doesn't have to be today. That's what today's all about.
Exactly. And also, if that's a quote from the Bible, okay. And money is the root of evil, but they miss out the part, right? It's the love of money. It's when you love money more than you love everything else. And I'm going to have to get the quote, but it's when you love money more than you do everything else that is the root of all evil, not money itself.
Gotcha.
But, so that's something that unfortunately we need to overcome. Right?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm learning as I go. I've never been fantastic with money and finances and spreadsheets. And as I'm getting older, I'm getting better and better. And every time I speak to people like you, I get a little bit of advice and little tips and tricks that I can put into place straight away. And I try to do that. I remember one book that I read, I think it was The Richest Man in Babylon. Fantastic book. And it taught me so much about money as well.
That's one of my favorites. Fantastic. I have it, yep. Right? There's certain books that I keep because they were written, so long ago, but whatever they did back then, it still applies today.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's one of them.
Yeah. So Chella, why is it then that we have such a vast array and mix of people and relationships when it comes to money? Some people are fantastic with money from the day dot. Some people are terrible. Some people learn much later on. Why does that happen?
I believe that the number one reason is the money conversation we listen to as children. Uh-huh. And I'm not going to put you on the spot here, Darren, so we're going to use one of my clients' examples.
I love it.
Unless you want to jump in the fire, then you can. But no, it's the money conversation we listen to as children, right? So if you're growing in a household and the adults were talking about we can't afford it, we don't have enough money to pay utility bills. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's that conversation that you listen to.
Exactly. Yep.
And then we carry that with us.
Yep.
And as adults, if you track down, so whatever the conversation was, and then whatever it's doing. So some person that heard, let's say it's hard to make money, or you have to struggle to make money.
Yep. Yep.
Right. So that person and me, so my dad was a baker when I was growing up, and my mom was a housewife.
Right.
So the story, the conversation that I heard and something my dad told us is that you have to work hard for your money.
Yep.
So I carried that with me, right? And I worked really hard for many, many years.
Yep.
But then when I first went into this spiritual journey and I received my first paying gig to go out and speak,
Wow.
imagine, right? So my whole body was just, so I reached out to my coaches and we worked it out. But it's that conversation you listen to and how that has a direct impact. And we all have different, and somehow along the way, we need to choose to do something differently.
Yep. Perfect. So it's a very conscious choice to build a relationship with money, and you have to practice it as well.
I could not have asked for a better setup, Darren, because if you think about, and we didn't even practice, folks, we didn't even practice. But if you think about money as being in a relationship, how are you treating money? Gotcha. Are you saying you're not enough? You know, I never have enough. You don't spend enough time with me. What are you saying to money? And if you think about it, if that was your partner and you were saying those things, right? I don't have enough. You don't spend enough time with me. Will your partner stay around? Yeah,
very good point.
Right? Yeah. So start thinking about money being in a relationship. We are in a relationship with money, right? Yeah. Think about money as dancing.
Yeah.
And it's about learning those, it's about learning, right? It's a dance, and it's about learning to do that dance together.
Yeah. It's not just about spending money, saving money, because that's too one-sided. Yeah, you're not giving anything back. You're not entering into a relationship that's a two-way street.
And also the relationship, right, is the give and take, right? Yeah. So there's times where you're going to need to spend money. You're going to need to pay rent or a mortgage. You're going to need to pay for your phone bill. Yep. You know, there's certain things that you need to pay. And there's certain things that you want, going out to dinner, going out to the movies, going out for concerts. Yep. I'm saying that for myself. Yep. Some of the things, right? But it's about finding that balance so that you always have money to meet your monthly obligations. Yep. But you're also preparing and making, I mean, when I first bought my car, that was a very, very strong driving force for me to do that. Wow. Yeah. And so I invite your listeners to see. So for me, I bought my first car because at the time we lived in an apartment and we used to walk to the laundromat. Wow. Yep. Right? So for me, I wanted to drive to the laundromat. I didn't want to have to drive. And it was only 2 blocks. But at the time, it was a long ways.
Yeah. And so which car did you buy? Just for all the car?
They don't make them anymore. But I bought a Ford Pinto.
Oh, okay.
White with red interior. Hey, I still have pictures. I still have pictures from my poor baby.
Love it.
But, right, so once you have that thing that you want, stronger than, for me, going out to dinner or going out to the movies or going out and doing some of the things that the other kids were doing. Yep. Right? For me, it was more important to buy my car.
Gotcha. Yep.
Right? So once you find that thing that's going to help you, it's so much easier to say no to the shiny objects.
Gotcha. Because you know what you're doing, what you're saying no to, and what you're going to get in return. So that's why you say have a relationship, because you might forego a few small things now, but the reward on the upside is huge. So that's what you're saying.
Absolutely, it's delaying, right? So we're delaying the delayed gratification. We're waiting.
Like that. Yep.
But you know that that's important, right? So whether it's a new computer, whether it's a house, whether it's a car, whether it's simply the satisfaction of having 6 months of your monthly obligations in the bank, what is that driving force that's going to help you stay on track?
Gotcha. I love it. And so do you think that some people go through their lives and at different stages, different life events or different life situations cause them to have a better relationship with money or not such a great relationship with money? Or do you think it's, we ebb and flow and we have to keep putting ourselves back on track? Or is it something that we should have and it's always the same, it's constant?
Let's take the savers, right? So so we're going to take the saver and we're going to take the spender, right? So the saver, because they want to avoid feeling hungry or they want to avoid feeling cold because that's what they experience as children. They tend to save, but they save to such a degree they don't have much joy in their life.
Right. Yeah.
Right. They don't go out and treat themselves to a vacation or to a dinner or something. Yep. Right. So it's about helping them find the balance. Or what about my spender that spends every penny that comes in, they spend it, right? So it's finding that balance.
Yep.
so that, you know, you're constantly adjusting, you're constantly growing, you're constantly you know, it's just, think of it as dating and then celebrating your 25th anniversary together.
Ah, that's
right?
good.
It's constantly growing, but it's constantly evolving.
Gotcha.
So think dating to 25-year anniversary. That's what money is.
And then I suppose, and then when you get some dividend, it's like having children. Oh, I got a dividend this year. I got another dividend. My second child.
There you go. Absolutely, right? So it's ever going, right? So we always learned. You know, there's definitely books that we can get in touch with. There's ways that we can find to save money.
Yep.
There's ways that we can find to maybe make money with that gift that we have. Yep. That comes quite naturally for us, that other people are willing to pay for.
Gotcha. Yep. Yep. So then, I mean, it's all very well to say we've got to have a good relationship with money, and we've got to think of it long term and think of delaying gratification. But how do we actually start learning to do that and executing on that strategy? I mean, what?
Very good.
I mean, that's
it.
You know, it's great to think high level, but how do we start doing it?
$100,000 question. You start by building the foundation and finding where you are today.
Okay.
And the way you're going to do that is by keeping track of how you're spending your money. Yep. We don't have to tell your listeners, your audience, Darren, but how you're spending your money. So for 30 days, yep, you're going to write down anytime you spend $1. Okay.
Wow.
7 days, we're going to break it down. We're going to chunk it down. So for 7 days, you're going to write down anytime you spend $1. Wow, at the end of the 7 days, yep, you're going to grab a notebook. That's just me. An Excel spreadsheet, an app, yep, whatever it is. And you're going to divide that into 2 columns. On one column, you're going to put in how much did I spend on needs and how much did I spend on wants.
I like that.
Right? It's very simple. We don't want to make it complicated, because if it's complicated, we're not going to do it. Yep. For 7 days, you're going to do that, and then you're going to carry that and do that for a total of 4 weeks. That's it.
Wow. Okay. 4
weeks. You're going to find what your shopping pattern is, because you're going to see, are you shopping out of guilt? Are you shopping out of gain? It's a guilt, shame, yep, right? As moms, I'm not saying dads don't do it, but I can only speak for moms. For moms, we sometimes tend to spend money and we buy stuff because we feel guilty, right, that we're not spending enough time, right? We're spending too much time at work. I know this for a fact. For me, again, this is just for me, right? So when are we shopping? Are we shopping when to repress? Are we shopping when we're happy? When do I shop when I'm happy? So, yep, yep. Right? So when are we shopping? And once you identify what that is, then you can choose to do something differently.
Gotcha.
Right? So instead of going and shopping for toys for the kids when they were younger because I was feeling guilty, had too much work, I simply took off from work early. I picked them up from school and we went for lunch, or we went to the park. You know what I mean? But it was me spending time. So for me, that was something that I was able to do.
Love it. So really doing that and taking a log of your finances is really teaching you about the psychology behind why you spend. And then that allows you to start changing your behavior because you're conscious of it. Well, otherwise we go through life just spending money. And if we never do that, we don't even consciously think about those things.
And that's why the magic, and every single one of my clients that has done this.
Yeah. Wow.
You know, the one person that after she did this for 4 weeks, she found out she was spending $750 US dollars for lunch.
Whoa.
Right? Because listen, we all do it. We go to the bank, we go to wherever, we get the money, we spend 20 here, 30 there, whatever that may be. It's gone, right? But when you're actually logging it down and right? So she was at the end of 4 weeks, she chose to start putting away $500 towards the down payment of a house.
Wow.
And because I believe that you should not give up everything. And then she was able to go to lunch. Yeah. Because she still had $250 to go work with.
Yeah. So you might say, all right, I'll go to lunch twice a week, not every day. And that'll be my treat. And the rest of it will be my delayed gratification payment for my house or my car.
Exactly, right? It's about finding what that is, whether it's a car, what it is
Gotcha.
going to be
My
unique.
holiday or whatever.
Perfect holiday, right? Imagine if you're able to pay for your holiday ahead of time.
Yeah, no credit cards.
But that changes, because now you're not going to be making payments on this holiday 3 months after you already enjoyed the holiday.
That's right. Isn't that beautiful? I love it.
And so it doesn't matter what you're going to do with it. It's just being conscious and finding, when do you shop and why do you shop?
Gotcha. And have you ever done that for yourself, or you were already naturally conscious of doing that?
All the time.
Right.
All the time.
You still do it to keep yourself on check?
Absolutely.
All right. Okay.
Absolutely. I especially do it if there's something I want to get.
Okay.
Right? Because listen, you know what I mean? Like, I tend to go into some, it's like, well, it's only, no, but so if there's something I want to achieve, absolutely, I still go back. Okay. And it makes it a world of difference. So do I always do it? No, but I still do it.
I love it. Yep. It's almost like a business plan. It's like a micro business plan for every next step or next purchase. You can almost do that, and it will force you to plan to save.
And I love the way you said that, because that's exactly what it is. You're planning to save. You're planning how you're choosing to spend your money.
Yep. It's
your choice.
Yep.
Now, one of my other clients, she spent a lot of money on makeup.
Yep.
And even after we went through this, she chose to continue to spend money on makeup. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Because that's her choice. But at least she knows when she's ready to give up the makeup addiction, she'll be able to go back and find something else, right? It's okay. This is not about giving up the thing that you're attached to, whatever that may be. It's just giving you the steps so that when you're ready to make a choice, the foundation is going to be there for you.
And the other thing that's coming to mind is that actually really works well psychologically, because you won't feel guilty about making those choices after you know that you've decided to consciously make those choices. So you said, if I'm going to still spend so much money on makeup, when I go to buy the makeup, I'm fine. I don't feel guilty. Whereas if we don't do it, we say, oh, should I be spending money on this? What am I doing? I'm doing this again. I'm here at this shop again. So that you go into a spiral of self affliction and guilt and whatever else. So that's a really interesting exercise psychologically as well.
Absolutely. It's about having compassion. And also, let's take the other side, is for those that possibly maybe are spending a little bit more on things that don't serve them, whatever they may be, right? It's about having compassion for yourself, because you did the best that you could based on what you knew at the time. That's it.
Right.
That's what you knew. And you made the best choice based on that. Now you have different options, different choices, so you can choose to make a different decision.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Right? But it's letting go of that guilt, because we do that, right? We're constantly, it's like, how could I have done that? Why didn't I say this? Why did I do that? We have that monkey chatter.
Yeah.
Mine is not quite as loud anymore, but with lots of meditation and lots of journaling, it does slow down a little bit. But it's about having and looking at, well, you know what, I did that, not looking at it as a mistake, but looking at it as the best decision based on what I knew at the time. That's it.
Gotcha. And being comfortable with it and allowing yourself to make that decision, and then you just move on and get on with the rest of your life.
Yes.
Love it.
It's much easier, right?
Yeah. Much more free, much more liberating.
Yeah, and you're not carrying all that weight. You know what I mean? And that's the one thing that my clients say, is that after working with me, they're lighter, because we let go of that guilt and the shame and all of that other stuff that comes with thinking that you made the wrong choice.
Funny. Amazing. Like I've heard so many people speak about things like that. I've read so many books, but no one has said, do a journal for a month and put 2 columns, one, the stuff that you need, and one, the stuff that is just nice to have.
And it's okay, right? I've been doing this for many, 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 many years. Even when I go and I do workshops for my high school students and college students, right? It's just becoming aware. It's becoming aware of where the money is going, so that way you can make a different choice. And it's simple, right? It's just 7 days at a time.
Yep, easy. All right.
It's magic. Magic every time.
All right. And so, Chella, I'd love to hear an example or two or a case study or two where you've really changed somebody's life with teaching them these strategies.
Well, my favorite, and it's my retired ladies,
Okay.
right? Because they fought with me and they argued with me and they fought me all the way. So they did this for a week,
Yep.
right? And their argument was, we're on fixed income. We don't overspend. I said, I understand. So they did it, right? But just the fact that they were fighting me, I enjoy it. So at the end of the 4 weeks, I went back. There was a community center in LA.
Yep.
A couple of the ladies were waiting for me at the door,
Wow.
right? Because by doing this task, and this is the best example that I have, although they're all really favorite, by doing this, they found out that every weekend they were going to the yard sales. I don't know if you guys have yard sales there, but anyways.
Yeah, a similar thing, yeah.
Okay. So whatever the yard sale is for you guys. So every weekend they were going and they were spending $30 every weekend.
Wow.
When you're on fixed income, that's $120 a month.
You're right.
Right? One. And two, they decided they were still going to go, but they were only going to go twice a month.
Yep.
So now they're saving. But wait. Then they realized that they had accumulated so much stuff that the 2 weekends that they were not going out, and they were having their own sale.
Wow. And making more money.
So now they're saving, but now they're making money, right? But I say this because if I am able to help my retired ladies save money and make money,
yep,
right? It's endless. But truly, my other one of the other things that I share and will give to your listeners is that find ways to give time or make homemade gifts instead of purchasing.
Okay.
Right. So these are the only two things that this homemaker did. So this lady was a housewife and she had 3 kids.
Yep.
One of the kids, and so her husband was the only one that worked. And she wanted to save $5,000 to give to her daughter as spending money when she went off to school.
Yep.
And one of the things I said, listen, can you give time, right? Can you, instead of giving somebody a toy or gift, can you offer to babysit? Can you offer to water somebody's plants as a gift? Yep. Can you offer to do somebody's grocery shopping? Is there something that you can make? Can you make like a scrub, or you can make some cookies, or can you make a dish that they can give? So you're giving them and you're saving them time. So those are the things that she did.
Perfect.
And in 5 months, she was able to save $3,000.
Wow.
When she came to the center, again, another community, she was in tears because she could not believe, right? Because she didn't think it was possible. Look at that as I'm getting here. Because when you practice these things, when you start to look at things, because we all can give something, right? And so a lot of the ladies, I was surprised that they weren't bakers. Fine. But there's so many other things that you could do. Sure. Can you make flower arrangements? Can you grow plants? There's so many things that you can give, and people truly appreciate gifts that come from the heart.
Definitely. And you could give experiences rather than things, but experiences that don't cost a lot of money.
Right? Can you take somebody's kids and take them away to the beach, to the park, and give those, give those parents the time, the freedom.
Yeah.
Right? So those are truly my favorite, because we just need to start thinking about it in a different way.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Right?
Perfect.
And we can all do that. Absolutely. All do that.
I love that. And I mean, that's incredible. And I suppose I'd have to ask as well, I mean, what are your thoughts on making a little bit of extra money? Have you got any little tips and tricks on how to make a little bit of extra money when you have a bit more time? Obviously, because you're controlling your spending, you have to come up with some ideas to actually make a little bit of extra money. What?
There's quite a few. So one, I would say, is there something that you have in your household that you might be able to sell?
Okay.
Because now it's easier than ever to be able to sell. There's so many different apps that you can do. So look through the closet. I have a 1-year rule. If you haven't used it in a year, it's time to go.
Okay.
Right. But also what that does is it helps you declutter your house.
Yep.
And for me, and not to get too woo-woo for you folks, but when you declutter, in my opinion, is you're sending out a message to the universe, to God, whoever, that you're open for new stuff to show up.
True.
Right? So declutter.
And as well, you're probably sending a message saying, I don't need a lot of stuff, which actually helps you with your spending.
Well, that also too, right? And, you know, I've been guilty of finding stuff in my closet that still had the tags on because I never wore it. You know what I mean? And it's hilarious. But what can you sell? What do you have that you might be able to sell to bring that extra cash? What gifts do you have? And we touched on it a little bit. What gifts do you have that other people are willing to pay for?
Oh, I like that. Yep.
Right? Especially now, right? What gifts? Because, you know, everybody has their genius. And if you have been thinking about starting a side business, this is a great opportunity.
It is.
Right? What do you have? And you test it, right? So we're going to give them the formula. Let's say that it's copywriting. Okay. And I say that because that happens to be my weakness. So I'm willing to pay for somebody to help me with that. Right? Let's say your genius is to copyright, right? You have a conversation with me and then you can help me create an email, you can help me create a post, whatever that may be, right? So copywriting.
Yep.
You know, and initially, if you're just starting out, you maybe want to take 3 to 5 people, test out your idea, introduce it at a low cost. Never, ever, ever, ever should it be free.
Yep, true.
It has to be low cost because we have to have that energy exchange. Right? Even if you're saying, well, you're getting experience. Yeah, but the other person is also gaining something. So definitely do it at low cost.
I like it. And I might just jump in there, Chella. That's really great point. Because like sometimes I have the tendency to give stuff for free. But even if I charge a small amount, my attitude towards the service and the professionalism in which I execute on that service is always at a high level because it's worth something to me. I love that.
And also because, right, it's the amount, it's the energy exchange that we're dealing with.
Exchange. I love that phrase.
Right. So even let's say that maybe possibly money, and I've done this a couple of times, right? What if we are able to exchange services? Yep. She's a copywriter, I'm an energy healer, we're able to exchange, right? But we're doing a service exchange.
Perfect.
Right. Yep. But now would be the time. And after you do the beta testing for 3 to 5 people, then you can start looking for clients because now you have testimonials and now you can start increasing your price. Beautiful. Even if it's for a part-time, this is a great opportunity to do it.
It is. And the internet.
And I just gave you the formula.
Yeah. Internet is at scale. Technology is so affordable. We have a lot of time right now. So this is the time to jump on because there are so many ways to get your message out there at huge scale that we've never had before.
This is a perfect opportunity, right? To not only to decrease your expenses, and put the money into your account, but also find another way for you to make some more money. Beautiful thing.
Well done. Well done. You've certainly woken me up.
I'm not going to put you on the spot, Darren, but you and I will have a conversation offline for sure.
Yes, we definitely need more than one conversation, I think. Chella, that was really, really insightful. And I just love the way that you've created such clarity and simplified the psychology behind spending and saving and how you behave in your relationship with money. I think that's just genius.
It's truly my pleasure. I mean, we complicate things. Humans complicate things.
Definitely.
Right? Let's get back to being simple.
Yep. Let's get back to basics. There's enough complication in the world. We already have a shortage of time. We want things to be bite-sized and simple. And what a superb philosophy and ethos. So if anybody wants to get in touch with you to learn more, and I know you've got some great online courses that you're putting together and about to launch, tell us more about how to do that.
They can reach out to me on Transcend Abundance on Facebook. Okay. And also Chella Diaz, ChellaDiaz.com is my website.
Fantastic.
So Facebook, Instagram, Transcend Abundance, or my website are the 3 ways to get a hold of me, in touch with me.
Beautiful. I'm going to put all those links in the show notes for everybody. So please do that. And I always ask my guests at the end, Chella, is give us 1 or 2 tips, things that just come to your head straight away, things that we can implement right now, right this second. Might be practical, it might be mental. What would you like to give us?
I would say take action. Whether you choose to do one of my tips when you have somebody else's, take action, do one step, and put yourself first.
I like that.
If you're overcommitting and you're doing too many things for other folks, it's time to let that go and do something for yourself, whatever that may be for you.
Love it.
Because that's it all starts. It starts with us.
Yep.
We need to be the shift, the change we want to see.
Beautiful. Well, what a fantastic way to finish off an incredible podcast for Friday and the end of the week. So Chella, thank you so much for joining us. Really, really appreciate it.
It's been an honor. It's been a pleasure. And I look forward to hearing from some of your listeners. Definitely, I'm here to help.
Absolutely. And if anybody wants to build a better relationship with money, Chella is your lady. So please get in touch with her. And I'm going to now go book about a month's worth of consultation with her because I need some help. So everybody, I hope you had a great session. That was very, very fascinating for me. And we'll see you very, very soon for another episode of Playing with Perspective. Bye for now.